Hey there, Facebook friends, Michelle Kine coming to you live. I wanted just to finish up this video while Facebook is searching for my audience. And I did this a couple days ago. This was an interview with Bob Proctor at Networking Times Magazine. And I found it inspiring because it just validates so much of the network marketing industry. And in the first interview, Bob talked a lot about, how he feels about network marketing and his views on that. So it was a rather long interview. I put it into 2 separate days. So if you missed the first part, feel free to go to my Facebook page or go to YouTube. I'll be posting that. I forgot to put that on YouTube, but I've got to just go to Michelle Kind on YouTube, and it will be posted there. So I apologize, I've got a little bit of a scratchy throat today. I'm just drinking some hot lemon and honey water, so I may have to stop for a second and take a break and get a drink. But I wanted just to go ahead and finish up from this. I've got notes here, so I just want to read through the notes here because it's a Q&A. So as I go through this, I'll read the question that was asked, and then I'll read Bob's response. But if you don't know who Bob Proctor is, he's referred to as America's greatest prosperity teacher. So a lot of his, well, I guess a few of his mentors are Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, and Earl Nightingale. So follow him on YouTube. He has just an amazing insight on the mind. And he, he's had like 40 years experience with this. So he found his inspiration through network marketing from a friend of his who was a doctor who was in the industry. And his friend wasn't doing it for the money. He was doing it more because he loved his work. And he found that there's just so much benefit from it. I know that coming from my personal experience, there's a lot of misnomers on network marketing that people just don't understand. It's when you know type of thing. And so Bob breaks it down and he talks about the benefits and compared to corporate America. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started here. If you happen to get this in the middle, or you're not able to stand for the duration, it shouldn't be more than 15 minutes, I hope, then feel free to go ahead and just watch the replay. So I'm just going to pick up from last time. The last question, the last comment that Bob had made in his interview, he said, network marketing is the most phenomenal system, and it keeps getting better and better because you become more and more aware of the truth. And so once again, it's just, if you don't know much about it, then of course, you're going to criticize, you're going to judge, and you're going to, not really understand, the people that are in network marketing, why they value it so highly. So the next question was to Bob, what kind of difficulty does that present for someone coming from the corporate environment? Because Bob has done a lot of work, in the corporate field. And so he's asking him, so in comparison, if you were to look at, corporate America versus individuals, what kind of difficulty does this present? So Bob's answer, he gives an example of, let's say you're right-handed, and he gives you a pen, and he says, okay, now go ahead and write something with your left hand, which, most of us know it's probably difficult, right? So Bob says, well, it's going to be uncomfortable and cumbersome, and he says, I'm going to look foolish. And so that's the same analogy with trying, even trying to speak a different language. You're going to fumble. You're not really going to know what to say. It's going to come out all wrong and all different and confusing. But Bob says, it's just difficult and stressful because, it's a learning curve. He says, but, eventually you'll learn and it will be easier for you, to overcome. He says, people are programmed to live a certain way. You just need to change the programming. So the next question was to Bob, please give examples of programming. So his answer was, well, we have to begin to understand ourselves and improve our self-esteem. We are programmed to go to school, get a good education, and a job in a big company. He says that you're safe. So people often get into their comfort zone because they think if I, get a good education, I'm going to get a good job, and then, life will be, awesome. He says, but we all know that's not true. People have been laid off, fired, and downsized. He says, we're living in a new economy, and the world is more aligned with the universal laws. So he's quoting this from the Toronto Daily Star. He says, the Toronto Daily Star pointed out that the top 10% of income earners are earning 314 times what the bottom 10% are. The old system isn't going to help them. Hey Sharon, thanks for joining in. Go ahead and just catch the replay of this just at the beginning. I'm just recapping. I did, the first part of this is an interview with Bob Proctor from, let me get the magazine is Networking Time Magazine. And he's validating the network marketing industry. And so the first part is he just talked about, his reasons why he feels that network marketing is important and why people don't grasp it. And so as he goes on to compare, saying that the Daily Star pointed out that the top 10% of income earners are earning 314 times what the bottom 10% are. The old system isn't going to help them. So he says network marketing clearly explains how you get to the top. He says there are a lot of brilliant people who intellectually understand but don't make it because of their paradigm. Now, once again, a paradigm is the way that you think. He feels that there has to be more education in that area of development to help the individual change their subjective conditioning. That's why they struggle. They can't grasp that. And then he points out wealthy people have multiple sources of income, not just one. He says money is a real part of life, not only for the things we need, but for the development of our potential. He says, I've been teaching people this for years. And he says the beautiful part about network marketing is you set up multiple sources of income with each person you bring in a short period of time. So we all know that. And then the question was, which speaks the business of leverage? So Bob's answer was, yes, there are 3 income strategies, and the 3 different ones are, he explains, there's an M1, an M2, and an M3. He says M1 is trading our time for money. 95 to 96% of the population does this, called saturation. And so the interviewer says, saturation, what do you mean? He says, you run out of time, you have a ceiling on how much you can earn. This is what we're taught. We've observed this from our parents. And then he says, M2 is an excellent strategy. Invest money to make money. He says only 3 out of 100 understand this, and some aren't very good. And then he goes on to say M3, without question, is the strategy that wealthy people have always used. Approximately 1% of the population uses this strategy, but they earn 90% of all the money that is earned. M3 is multiplying your time through the efforts of others by setting up multiple sources of income. So you can see where he's going with this. He totally understands. He's just, looking at it as, don't work harder, work smarter. There's ways of making this possible. And if you're in network marketing, you understand, by recruiting people into your team, it's better to have, 100 people doing 1% than one person, doing 100%. He says, earning money has absolutely nothing to do with the work. This is the real paradox. And so he reads a quote from Napoleon Hill. So I'm just going to read this off my laptop. Napoleon Hill quoted, if you are one of those people who believe that hard work and honesty alone will bring riches, perish that thought. Because it's not true. Riches come, if they come at all, in response to definite demands based upon the application of definite principles, and not by chance or luck. So if you agree on that, that is certainly true. I'm just going to take a drink here real quick. I apologize. And then the next question was, is there a demand for someone to show an individual how to close the gap between the haves and the have-nots? Because people think, well, if they have it, then why shouldn't I? And so that's what he's kind of getting at. And Bob says, yes, of course. And that's what network marketing does. We teach them, meaning the people that we bring into our team, we teach them how to close that gap, how to spend their days doing what they love and earn the amount of money needed to choose the way they live. He says, I don't think we're made to work. Work is made for us. If you truly love what you do, you'll never look at it as work. And then the interviewer has this question. He says, okay, Bob, tell me about the role of love in network marketing. And Bob says, I see love as harmony. People who are in love helping other people are huge winners. You see that proven in network marketing all the time. The big winners love watching their people win, and that's the biggest reward. So that was the end of the interview. It's not as long as I thought it was, but hopefully that was inspiring for you. I mean, I love network marketing. I've been in and out of the industry for, probably at least 18 years that I can remember. My oldest daughter's 18, and I remember looking at, I think I first got started in Mary Kay probably 18 years ago. And from then I've kind of bounced around. And I've just always known that I had that entrepreneurial mindset that, I love working from home. I love helping other people. And it's just such an incredible, I don't want to say easy because, you still have to work, but I think it's just a better way of trying to earn money to work around your schedule. And the rewards, are huge. You just put in the time and the effort and, learn everything that you need to. Definitely find a business that you're passionate with because that will make it easier along the way. Don't just choose something because you see, the potential, in the compensation plan. Most companies probably do have a great compensation plan, but find something that you resonate with, something that you feel that you can share value with other people. And I think it would, make it easier for you, in your business to, grow that, that business, with your, potential, clients, or your team. So if you got value from this, please I always get tongue-tied on this, please feel free to share. Like and comment, of course, any, ideas or comments that you have, I'll value. And also if you are in a network marketing company and you're struggling to, promote yourself online, need marketing tips, feel free to reach out to me. I'm in the process right now of getting my blog up and running, so I'll have some helpful tips on there to help you along the way. But certainly reach out to me, send me a friend request or just, inbox me. And if you'd like to know what I'm doing to earn extra income online, feel free to ask about that as well. So I hope you're having a great day. Make it an awesome week. It's Monday today. I know Mondays are hard for most, but it's just another day for me. So I've got to take off from here, get up and running, and luckily I had some quiet time. I usually have my dogs in the background making a lot of noise, but right now they're napping, so it's all good. So I will bring more value to you on the next live. Thanks for joining in, and if you're catching the replay, that's awesome too. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.